Welcome to episode 2. This week, we're cutting hair with Alicia Anderson, owner of Stylush Salon in Fort Frances, Ontario. Alicia has been a Joico educator for 4 years, traveling the world, sharing her vast knowledge with aspiring stylists. She acquired Stylush just 2 years ago, but has been working hair from the chair for 11. Alicia is a recipient of the 2018 New Business Award as voted by the Fort Frances Chamber of Commerce. I'm here and they're booked up to 2 months in advance, and I'm going to see if I can get me a freebie. I'm Maverick Judson from MJ Interactive, and you are watching and listening to my video podcast series called The Emo Incident, where I interview the amazing people in and around my hometown of Emo, Ontario, Canada. Yes, it exists. No, we're not famous, and quit trying to copy us. All right, so here we are, back again. Gotta figure out which camera to look at. I guess it doesn't really matter. We're gonna be focused on each other here. But I got Alicia Anderson here. She's owner of Stylush. I'm gonna throw a little intro in there for you at the beginning so everybody can see, so we don't have to do too much. We can pretty much get right into it. So I have a bunch of questions for you. We might just kind of improvise as we go.
Sounds good.
So why don't you just tell the people who may not know a little bit about yourself and kind of how this all happened? How did Stylush end up happening here?
Awesome. So I'm Alicia Anderson. I'm from a small town in Stratton, Ontario, and I now currently have my own salon in Fort Frances called Stylush Salon. I have been doing hairdressing since 2008 is when I went to school. I stayed there for about 2 years, did a lot of my learning and apprenticing in a salon while I went to school. So then once I did that, I wanted to come back home. So I started to work at a couple of salons here in town actually, and built my clientele, built myself, had great salons to work for that helped to build me as the artist I am now. And it kind of inspired me to do my own salon.
Okay.
When it came out, Celeste was for sale, and I was actually on my maternity leave. So it was something I wanted to do, and I reached out to the girls, and kind of started.
So one thing I was just wondering, like, why hair? Like, and why? What is it? Like, there's so many, and I think even young ladies as well. It just interests them so much. Is it being a part of like the special day? Is it just being able to help other women? Is it just really like a passion for the style, or what? What is it? What is it about hair that?
First started and decided to go to hair school. To be honest, in high school, I was not the girl that always had the nicest hair or anything. It was kind of something I thought at first of going into to be like, okay, I can go to school, get my license, do hair, and then if I want to go back to school for something else, I have a job that I can be making tips off of, making a good sense of a wage to pay myself back into school, if that was a choice I wanted. But when I got into hairdressing and I worked in a salon, I realized there was way more to hair than just doing root touch-ups. I went to a lot of hair shows, destination educations. We were on a great big cruise ship with other hair artists, watching inspiration all the time.
Oh, that's
so
cool.
Then it was kind of like, hair is like fun and exciting, and it's not just your root touch-ups.
Okay.
So that's
awesome.
Where I started, yeah.
So right now we're in kind of interesting times. Everything in here looks great,
Thank you.
but it's empty. As everybody knows, the hair salons are all closed for COVID. So like, how are you coping with all this? Like personally, with the business, have you kind of just accepted it now as normal and until everything's open? Like, how are you doing with all this?
I've been wanting in the beginning to do a website. I was just very busy behind the chair and like working in the salon that I never had a chance to. So once we got news of COVID, I was like, time to get our website up so we can keep our clients at home with their retail needs or anything they needed. It was tough in the beginning for sure.
Yeah.
Like it was a big shock. At first it was kind of like, oh, it's only going to be like 2 weeks or 3 weeks and we'll be right back to it. But now we're like 3 months in and we're still sitting empty.
Yeah,
but
just accepted it as just the norm. And
now just knowing what guidelines we need to put in order and what's going to be kind of forever now.
Just enjoying a little bit of family time, maybe some catch up at home too, I guess too. Eh?
I came back to work 2 months after my son was born to kind of get out and just kind of socialize. I missed my family, my work family and everything, and came back and it was a week and we got closed down. So God's way of making me stay home and raise my son and daughter.
I totally hear you. Like when it hit and they made the announcement to shut down all non-essential businesses, obviously video and audio and all that stuff was me. So I immediately, like, just in that first month, easily lost like $10,000 just like that gone. You're like, it's not lost. It's going to happen still. You know, people are always going to need their hair cut too, but you're just like, you're never going to get that back. So it's just like, and now you're just really unsure, I bet too. You don't know what they're going to make us do.
Exactly. And it's
for us to be legal again, to come back in this place.
And new businesses too, like, yeah, I'd love to have a heavy cushion that I can fall back on, but I'm 2 years in. Like, I just literally put everything I had into my business and just started to try to get comfortable, and then this happened. And then too, when you shut down for COVID, it's kind of the times where you're paying out your wages from the last couple of weeks worked. So now you're dropping so much money and nothing's coming in to help keep you afloat.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
because
exactly.
Everything, was just stopped.
Yeah, it's frustrating to say the least, and but it seems like you're coping well. You have a good positive attitude. It sounds like you still see the light at the end of the tunnel. Hey, like things are.
I've been calling clients and telling them like to reschedule, and they're like, "Oh my God, I feel so bad for you." I'm like, "I'm getting a suntan this year, actually a burn, but now it's fading into a tan. So when I come back,
and then there's all those other projects that you don't really get around to doing, and just like I think everybody is kind of taking part in a little bit of that. Hey.
Yep, and I find too it was when we first started here, because I did take over a previously owned business, so I didn't want to change things too much, being that I didn't want to make it more confusing for the girls that already worked here. So now with everything the way they are, I have time to change things to the way I kind of wanted to, because everything's going to be new anyway.
Yep.
So what better time than to start?
Do it now when you got the time, because it's going to be a little bit tougher in some ways to once everything kicks back in, and you're going full throttle, because there's going to be a lot of hair on the floor in this place.
Gosh, yeah. Everyone's going to have some really bad long hair don't care this summer.
Well, that's, you know what, there's an idea for your social media. When people walk in the door, you should take pictures.
I want to do
you should do that.
I do. I want to do something where it's like whoever has the worst COVID hair and do like a draw for them.
You're way ahead of me. You've been thinking about this for a long time. Yeah. Well, I got the time, hey?
Why not?
So you and your husband, Matt, you guys live out in Stratton. So, and the business here is in Fort Francis. I kind of have this feeling that that's just the best part of your day, either driving here in the morning or going back. Because there's obviously in Stratton, there must be some sort of peace and serenity that you associate with that. Like why would you? I mean, I guess you could run your business from home if you really wanted to, but is there a reason? And is that the reason why you guys live out in Stratton, or is it?
We go on this all the time.
Yeah.
I'm always looking at houses for sale and I'm like, we should move there. And then it comes back and you're like, but what if Aspen one night, that's our daughter, is like, Mommy, me want to go home. And it's just like, I don't want to deal with that. Like, she loves being in Stratton. It's a family area where, like, when my kid's older, she can ride her bike around the block. And we know every single neighbor around there. And and to access here, I feel like if I lived in town, I would be here way more than I need to be.
Right.
Just to come in and sweep the floor.
So on a typical night, like when would you get home? Like.
Sometimes if I'm working an evening, I don't get home till about 8:30.
Oh, okay.
So.
But what time do you leave in the morning?
We leave at 7.
Oh,
so it's not too bad.
That's a pretty long day. That's a good 12-hour day.
It gets to be long,
And I mean, you would probably be on your feet quite a bit too, eh?
Yes. Since I've had our daughter, though, I knew when I came back to work that, say for daycare, I make sure I pick her up for 4 o'clock. So we are home at a decent time, like 4:30, 4:45. So then I still have an evening with her, because before I had kids, I worked so much and so hard, like 12, sometimes 14-hour days. I'd even come in on Saturdays and Sundays. But I was building a clientele and I didn't have kids at home. So I had the time to do it then.
Right.
And I don't know, I found like that's why I'm kind of where I'm at now. Because I mean, I wish everyone could come into the salon, you know, at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, but everyone works, right? And weekends are kind of either their home time, or Sundays are days where they have nothing going on anyway, right? Yeah, exactly.
Gotta get that money in. And what? So, in talking about that, what is the best part of your day?
Oh man, that's a good one.
Coffee, the first sip of coffee in the morning?
In the morning, I think when I wake up.
The most appreciative part of your day, maybe.
Yeah, that's probably it. When I wake up in the morning and I'm like, Matt, you got to take care of the kids because I got to get ready for work now.
Yeah.
And then I don't have to do that morning rush around.
Yeah.
I think the best part though is like when I do come in and I walk in here and it's just it's nothing else in my mind other than work.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
And I love my job. So
Good.
it's not something I walk into
Yeah.
where I'm like, oh, I got to do these highlights today. Like, I'm
Yeah.
excited about it.
Yeah. I can totally see that. Like, I was actually expecting you to, because I was thinking that drive home to Stratton, and obviously you love your kids, and everybody does, but if you love your job that much, it just goes to show, it says a lot about you, and it says a lot about the sustainability of this place, because you're not gonna let it burn to the ground, and you're obviously not gonna give up. At least you're not gonna go out without a fight anyways, so that's good. So faced with a little adversity here, but don't mean nothing to you, clearly.
No.
Yeah.
Got it.
So here's kind of a funny question, and we talked a little bit about this off camera, but with a place like this, I can imagine with all the women being involved and being under one roof, it might get a little bit catty every now and then. I know my wife works for the school board, and I hear the odd story, and so I assume, like, every now and then there's girls
we are
will
strong,
be girls.
opinionated women.
Yeah.
So I find that's one thing here. Everyone is very, we get along really well. I think maybe we have a really mature team here, so that's probably most of it. But we all kind of are at the point where, like, if we have something to say, we just say it. There's no behind your back. So some girls, like, the heat at first, kind of like, oh, okay. And like when I walked in, sometimes I'd be like, all right, so this is gonna go on, and then we just all talk it out, and then it's over and done with.
Okay,
it's done,
that's
like,
good. So you just take it
right off as it goes.
Wow.
Sometimes I will get comments, right, where we have to talk.
From a lot of the stuff that I hear at school, it's almost like it builds and it builds and it builds. But like that seems the best way. You just get it out of the way and get it dealt with. Hey. Here
I would love to have an office, so like personally, rather than being like getting texts or something. But I feel for the most part, I haven't had to deal with that. Knock on wood. Is there wood here?
Yeah.
It's been good.
Yeah. No, I hear you. That's good though. That just take things right at the head so I had another thing here. Was there a point where you reached a crossroads and things would have went totally different? Like you might not be a hairdresser. You might be something totally else. Maybe you wouldn't be with Matt or.
Yeah.
Can you think of any situations like that where it might have went either way? Or
I was at a point where I felt like when I was working in a salon, I had worked there for so long, and it kind of felt like I couldn't grow. So everything started to kind of come down on me where I was like, do I even like doing hair anymore? I don't even want to do hair anymore. You know what? I'm going to go be a receptionist somewhere where I don't have to take home like anything. Like I could just, I don't know, you have a bad day, and then if you build or let your mind get to that, then you're like, you really just don't phase away from it. Yeah. So there was a point where I was like at the table crying, and I was like, I don't want to do hair anymore. I'm over it. I'm just gonna go be a receptionist, forget all the drama and blah blah blah. That was it. I worked at a spot where there was quite a bit of drama. And
it wasn't dealt with, or they just kind of let it.
Yeah, it kind of always just got slept away, I guess is the best way to put it.
Yeah.
It never got resolved. So that's kind of where we come in, and now it's just kind of like brought up.
Yeah.
But Matt at the table told me.
Do you guys have like team cheers like Walmart does and stuff in the morning?
No, we should.
No?
I think we have morning coffee together. We just, whatever. That's kind of like our opener. But
what time does everybody else get here? I mean, you leave at Stratton at 7, so you'd be
I like
an
to be
hour.
around 8.
8, okay. So then everybody else is what, 8 too?
8:30, 9.
Okay.
Yeah, we all come in for that half hour before the day starts to chat.
Right, because you mentioned you get here, you like, and it's just silence, and you can have your coffee and just
kind of pick away at things as I go. And but Matt did ask me at the table. He said, if you don't want to do hair, then you have to quit your educating job. Because I educate for Joico. I was like, well, I like doing that. He's like, then you don't not like hair. Like you just are in a frustrated spot. And I was like, you're right. I'm going to buy my own business. That's kind of what happened.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, that's good. That's good. It's good to have a partner like that that's just kind of like this way or that way, hey? And that's good. Things could have been different, eh?
Could have been. Yeah. I found like it was good where I worked at 2 different shops here in town because I got to take away from 2 successful businesses, right? Like I worked at Simplicity, and that's where I built myself. And then I went to A Little Off Top, which was a team that they're family. They've been together for like 20 years, you know? Right. So when I walked in, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm like the new baby. Yeah, I'm an outsider. And then just seeing how they operate and how they kind of were like that. They had an issue, they all addressed it right then and there. So I took
you've
that from
garnered
them.
a lot of experience going to the different salons, and you've had a chance to say, okay, I like this, don't like this. So this is what my place is going to be like, and this is how I'm going to do it. Hey,
yes, that's
and I guess
exactly.
that was a lot of the motivation of getting your own. I'm going to make my own rules, and I'm going to come in when I want to come in. And
that was exactly it.
Yeah.
And kind of like I just wanted, I don't know, I wanted a spot that was still fun to work, and you didn't feel like super stressed out, but you felt motivated. You had someone to look up to and be like learning new trends off of, or you know, so that was nice.
Today, you have the opportunity to make the easiest $50 you've ever made. I'm Maverick Judson, the creative director at MJ Interactive. We're in the event planning industry, and although wedding season may be coming to a close, booking season has just begun. That's right, we're already booking into next year. You probably think I'm yanking your chain, but I'm actually about to upset the cash money to pocket lint ratio in your pants. Hear me out for a second. Each and every one of us has got a friend or a friend of a friend who's got a wedding or a big event coming up in the next year. All I'm asking of you is to set us up. Talk your friends into sending MJ Interactive a Facebook or Instagram message. Introduce us in your own way. Hello. Tag us if you need to. I don't really care how you do it, because in the end, if your lead results in a sale, I'll be stroking you a fat one for 50 bones anyway. It's simple. You supply the leads, I supply the dough. There's no limit on the number of leads I'll reward. By the way, he didn't have a lead, he just delivered a pizza to my place. So, at any rate, tell your friends we do it all. From party tents, to DJ services and live sound, photography and videography, MCing and everything else. Get one price, one person to handle it all. Forget the headaches. We're the pros. Guaranteed value for your money and mega savings when you do it the right way. That's with us. You're gonna need that wedding card clout for the honeymoon. Here it is. It's all yours. Come get it. What are you waiting for?
I got a few more here. The biggest struggle you faced.
Ooh, when I opened the salon was the first one, I would say. Actually, no.
What kind of struggle? Just like the stress of just...
Of like going to bank appointments, your insurance, everything was lined up. It was good to go. It was a lot of work to get to.
But at the same time, you're trying to keep work going and business and all that.
Yeah, and I was on maternity leave, so then when my business started up, I was coming back. So I just hopped from one salon to another salon.
It's like jumping on a treadmill that's already going at 10.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It was like I jumped in, and then I left on my maternity leave. My clients are like, when's Alicia coming back? Oh, Alicia's opening her own salon now. Like, it was like a hop situation. So making sure your clients, you know, are going to want to come back to you, because they might just be worried like, oh, she had a kid, she's going to want another kid.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Like, that's the one thing in the business. But when we started out and all the bank stuff, that was probably the most frustrating part, the struggle, because everything was good to go. A week before I was opening up, they called me and were like, so I had so much for our mortgage here. Well, we can only actually do this much, and then your assets are this much. So can you come up with another 15 grand?
Yeah, just like that, eh?
Sweet. On top of my $40,000 down payment. I can't just no. Like, that's not, like, I can't do that.
Right.
So anyway, I was so worried. I had all my business stuff set up. We were opening in a week, and then I'm like, what am I going to do? Tell people we're closed now?
Yeah.
And then
we figured
it out. We did. We figured something out. But it was just kind of like being struck with that and being like, you have to.
But you know what? A lot of people wouldn't do that.
No.
A lot of people would just, whatever.
Yeah, no, I just cried and then got mad.
It's something you wanted, so you just...
You make it happen.
You just make it happen, eh? That's good. That's good.
Exactly.
Yeah, that would...
That's a struggle.
Yeah, that would be intense, though. Like, I mean, going from... I mean, right, it's kind of like how I feel on all this COVID stuff. You know, I've been sitting a lot, doing a lot of technical stuff on the computer, but, you know, I haven't really been getting out much. So, like, every time I step out, I'm like, oh... The sun is bright.
Exactly.
You know, but, you know, just going from that to full bore, it's just...
I see now, too, like, owning a business, like, the girls that work here, we're all family, so I feel like being a boss, I need to take care of them. So that's like a big struggle for me, because I'm like, I want to like do this and do that, and Matt's like, we need to like, you know, sit back and wait for when we can open up. Like, there's nothing you can do.
Yeah.
And I just want to do something.
You want to.
I can't.
Yeah.
Yeah, and your hands are tied.
Yeah, I had this conversation with my wife yesterday. It's always me. I'm always just like, we're just sitting there playing with my son in the sandbox, and I was like, you know, I'm so sick of waiting. Like, just get on. Let's just get on with it. Like, there's so many things I want to do. And when you want to do things, no matter what it is, it takes money.
Exactly.
And, you know, this curb is nice, don't get me wrong, but I mean, I have higher aspirations than where I'm at, and I just want to keep going. So
that was at home. I was sitting on the deck the other night, and both the kids were playing. And I think it was like a Wednesday or something. It was super nice out, super sunny. And then I just kind of sat back and was like, okay, when am I ever going to be out on a deck on a Wednesday with both my kids in the sun? My daughter's running in the pool. It's kind of like, it was refreshing to be like, I get this time to be at home with my kids.
Yeah.
But then the next breath, my phone goes on, and I'm like, oh my God, I just want to get back to work. Like, there's all these pretty hair, and like, my clients are struggling right now. Everybody's clients are struggling right now.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm not one. There's been some places that do like color touch-up kits for their clients. It's not something we went to that route because we're selling a chemical. Yeah. So it doesn't. No, it's in the hands of professionals. And
like I've heard a lot of women talking about like, oh, I just went through my second box store bought, you know, and it's just not the same. And I don't understand that stuff. But you know, I'm all women out there. I'm sure they get it, and it's definitely a struggle.
That's when we know for rebooking. Got to make sure.
So when you're running the business here, are you cutting hair all day, or is there like periods of time like, okay, I have to allot this because I have to do bank, or I have to?
No, I wasn't doing that.
Okay.
So when we first were here, well, before COVID, it was I just worked behind the chair, and I didn't have lunches booked. It was client to client to client. So now when I come back, I plan to, after my maternity leave anyway, to only be like scheduling, like say half a day and leaving the other half of the day to do that. Or I'll come in one day and just strictly be doing business stuff.
Okay.
I need to designate that. Otherwise it was becoming my Saturday and my Sunday. And
or
then my
you
Monday.
Stay up and you can't, you know,
I can't sleep.
And you're like falling asleep standing up.
Yeah, that's exactly it. I do have a good support system here because Debbie and Cindy that owned Celeste before, they've been here, so it's awesome. And Debbie being a receptionist, if I need a bank run, she runs and does it. We need change, she goes and does it. So they help me a lot with that, but I want to take a little bit more control of that myself. And now when I start back, I will.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. That's good. That's good though.
Yeah. I actually did hire a bookkeeper as well. Helps so much better with everything going on. She keeps me in line for everything.
That's something I should probably look into too. One thing I can do it, but I'm not great with numbers, and I don't like numbers. Yeah. It's one thing that definitely eases up a lot of time, and you know, even if you got to pay somebody $50 an hour just to get it done, and because you know that 2 or 3 hours on your weekend,
it does add up.
It adds up, you know, and it's time that you could be spending being creative or coming up with cool business ideas or ways to attract new clients. And
I love numbers and stuff, but it's different. Like I don't like the spreadsheet, all that stuff. I don't like that, but I like to see like how much we're making an hour per girl. Like have time to go through each girl and like set goals versus being like, okay, now I just did payroll, my brain is gone.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. 100%. Yeah. So I was checking your social media, and I was just taking note of all the inventive and creative things you've been doing since the COVID started. So how do you like doing that, and how do you like it, and how do you keep thinking up of these different ideas to keep people attracted and your clients? How do you keep them around through all this?
Oh my gosh, it's crazy. I hated social media before. I never had time for it. I felt like I'm always on my phone, and I don't like that. Yeah. So even taking after pictures were a struggle for me, but now I realize how much I should have been taking them, because now I have not much posts to feed for. Yeah. I've done a lot of tutorials online I've been looking through just to find out how to step up my Instagram game, because I have my own Stylush account for the salon. I have my own personal account for me doing educating and styling. Yeah, there's a couple apps on my phone that I use now, so it actually keeps me in loop. I can pre-play out my whole week, and it'll alert me and start posting then. So I'll do it when I have the downtime.
A lot of people don't realize it's a freaking job.
It is
to keep all that stuff up. Like I try to do all of them, like Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and even just to think of like 2 or 3 unique posts that have something to do. It's a bit of a challenge, and to do it every, like, I try to do it every single day, but even just every now and then, eh?
Yes.
Because it makes a huge difference. I mean, if people are seeing your posts, it's that constant reminder, like, oh yeah. I mean, I guess right now people can't, they can't get their hair cut, but I mean, I guess they can buy your products.
Yeah, and you try to...
Are you selling a lot of product right now?
We have been selling a lot of product right now.
Okay, that helps.
With our online store, it's been crazy.
So what kind of stuff are people buying?
A lot of shampoos, conditioners, hairspray, masks, a lot of masks. Because right now,
stuff.
Specialized things.
Okay.
I find now is a time where people can try new products because they have the time to.
Right.
Right? They have the time to let their hair actually get a feel for it for now.
Right.
And I've been bringing in a lot of new things too, just to kind of keep the inventory up. And
keep things fresh.
Fresh, exactly. Yeah.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
So are you concerned about what it's going to be like coming back, or do you think that eventually it's going to be how it was, or?
I keep being hopeful, thinking like it's only going to be wearing a mask for like a month or two, and then it'll be okay.
Yeah.
Like I'm going to be sweating. Yeah. I went to the clinic the other day and had to wear one, and like just I couldn't imagine actually working full force for 8 hours a day and being so, like I don't. Yeah. I think things are definitely going to change. I don't even want to guess on how long it's going to stay because I feel it's going to be one.
Oh, yeah.
I thought we would have been back by May. I thought calling clients and being like, sorry, till June 1st. And they're like, a month? And I'm like, let's just play it by ear. We'll do a month and go from there.
June 1st is coming. So are you thinking you're going to be doing it again to July?
Yeah. I read or actually listened to a video the other day, and they said by the end of summer, it sounded like for salons. We are considered, I think, third phase. So.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I know it's crazy. I'm learning my Instagram game though.
Yeah,
I have all kinds of time for it now.
And that's good. That's you wearing this hat makes me think you are probably wearing a lot of different hats that you don't usually wear throughout your regular work week.
Exactly.
Like you're doing your marketing now. You're doing your you're taking on a lot of creative endeavors.
And being home all the time too, and like being, say, behind the screen and like trying to plan your next move out of what to do. And you don't want to make your page either full of sales, right? Like people are going to start being like, oh, here's an ad on TV. Like, get out of here. So you got to make it interesting.
Well, and I guess now too, it's giving you a good chance to step back and see like, okay, this is what do I need to go? I can pull this here, pull this from here, or do this. It's really giving you that 3D perspective on moving forward too. So that's nice.
Yeah.
So how can people support your business right now? Where should we send them? Is it do you have your website up now?
Yeah, our website's up. So you can do all your product needs there.
Yeah. And so what kind of stuff do they got on there that you got your shampoos?
Everything. Shampoos, conditioner, anything that we have in salon is online.
Right.
Between like hair accessories and all of that as well.
Perfect.
Our gift cards are not up on there just yet.
Yeah.
I just haven't got around to knowing how to do it on there because I don't want it to become confusing when we open up again and being like, well, I bought one online and then having to like bring it in. And
right.
It's just easier with just the products right now.
Right. Just keep it simple for now.
Very simple to start because it is new to me.
I got faith in you though. I know that you're going to figure it out because you figured everything else out so far.
Try to.
Yeah.
I try to.
Everything is figure-outable.
That is right.
So what any
also
extra
support-wise is shout-outs. Like show your roots and just say how much you miss your stylist.
Yeah.
Like whether it's here or any stylist in town even, like just show your like thinking of them and support in it because we may be off right now, but it's hard for people like us that are hands-on people and that we're so social engaged all the time. Right. So being home is like hard.
Yeah.
Like my kids are social, so I get that out of them.
Yeah.
But just having that like, I don't know, we have relationships. We've had our clients for me like 8 years to 10 years. Some girls like 20 years. You care about them. Yeah. And it's hard right now because I don't want to call them and be like, hey, how are you doing? Like I'd love to.
Yeah.
But it's almost like it's just a tough time to be doing that.
Yeah, I believe that. And you just answered the next question I had on there.
Hi, I'm Hannah Anderson. I'm going in to record a song with MJ Interactive once again. When I go in there, Mav makes it so easy and he just makes I feel so comfortable there. So usually what happens is I message Mav and then I tell him about the song that I want to do and he says his input on it and then we agree on what we think will be good. I usually take a week to practice and make sure that it's clean and sharp before I come into the studio and record with Maverick. I tried recording by myself at home, but it never worked out. I wanted it more done professionally, like Maverick does it. I'm not really afraid to make any mistakes because I know that they can easily be fixed by Maverick. The best part of this all is sharing the music with everyone. Sometimes it's done the night of. It started with one recording and then I've been back several times after.
To book studio time with MJ Interactive, call now 705-557-9894. That's 705-557-9894. MJ Interactive. Make your vision a reality.
It's time for the Memory Vault, brought to you by the kind folks at MJ Interactive. Send us your home videos, whether it's VHS, 8mm tapes, or a film reel. Let us convert them into a modern digital format. No more eaten tapes, stop rewinding, minimize your storage, and make unlimited copies at a low cost. Call or text 705-557-9894. That's 705-557-9894. Next thing that I had on, I actually intended on doing it a lot earlier, but I forgot to flip back to it.
Yeah.
So part of what we do is a memory vault here, and I just try to bring something up from the past. I try to get VHS because I transfer VHS tapes, film reels, any of that stuff. So I found something.
Oh, you did find something?
I was creeping your social media, and I found something. I don't want to embarrass you or anything like that.
I could take it. I could take it.
But this one, I know that you're not going to be embarrassed. It's just a kind of a nice clip that I found. I wanted to show it to you, and I got a question that goes along with it.
Oh my God. That's a pretty good one.
Yeah, I like that one because you know, it really encapsulates his personality from what I know of Matt. And so I've in saying that, I've known him for quite some time now, and I'm going to guess that his sense of humor hasn't really changed that much. So
not at all.
In these challenging times, would you say it's a relief to have somebody that's always surprising you in that way? And then, you know, to go further from that, if you will, like what's Matt's role here? Like I heard that he had to cut some grass the other day, so is he now off the hook? Or
Yeah, no, he's still doing that. I don't cut grass in a straight enough line. It's always a complete fight. He'll be like, oh, you cut grass. I can see you missed that patch. And why do you go like this? And I'm like, you know what? You're on your own. Like, you're on your own. Yeah. He's done a lot more dishes even though I'm home. It's great having someone like supportive like that with me. Yeah. So poor Matt's become handyman of all trades because I'm like, this needs done at salon, this needs done. He's like, how about our house? I'm like, oh, you could do that too. Yeah. He's got more work with me being home. Right. But I think he keeps things light for me. Yeah. Because things do get kind of stressed in my head, and then it's just,
you know, from what I know him, that sounds like him.
That's him. He's that's where our kids get it from.
We were talking off camera, and I thought that was just kind of interesting what you were telling me about Matt and his.
So it's always been kind of something he's been passionate about, but it's always played out as a joke at first. Mm-hmm. He really does enjoy doing barbering. Yeah. It was something that I just kind of have to show him once in a while because he'd always be like, well, why do you do that? It'd be so much easier to do it this way. I watched it on Instagram or YouTube. I'm like, be a YouTube star, okay. Yeah. But he did go to training in Ottawa in March last year.
So cool.
And he did his barbering training. He's done a couple courses in Winnipeg where he's done straight blading and stuff now. Eventually.
I might even start coming.
Yeah, come on over.
When we can.
Okay, you might have to tie his razor on a stick right now to get to you, but we do plan on maybe eventually having a barbershop in town.
That's awesome.
That's a plan eventually.
I know people have been calling for it. I don't think it's a terrible idea. I think will really hit it off, and some of the cool ideas that he had that you'd mentioned that he'd come up with, a car show in the back. I'm like, who's even nobody does stuff like that, and people would there's lots of old guys that got antique vehicles.
Just to come around and take a look at night, and just have a dude feel to the evening. I find even in school, when I went to school, the hairdressing kind of came about. But I do know in this town there's some boys that are interested in barbering, and they've been practicing on their buddies. I've done their hair, and they've told me about it. And
you know what? In this area, I feel like we're so far behind in the times.
Yes.
Having somebody like Matt, it would just show that it would just make it cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I think
they
it
would
is
see
cool.
it as
but
a career, right?
And the people would see it more as a career. And for young boys, like you said, it's awesome to have somebody that's going to step outside of the box like that and do something. It's not something that hasn't existed, but in this area, it's so when was the last time we did have a barber shop here?
Exactly.
I don't know. I've never.
No, I know there was a gentleman that comes here actually, and he used to be the barber in town. Yeah. And it's been a long time since he's like retired and whatever.
There you go. I think that's
I kind of picked his brain one day about it. He's like, man, you know of all the best fishing spots when you're a barber. You know all the good details on things. Yeah. You get good deals places because you do there. It's a good
contact for you.
Yeah. And I feel like Matt's a very easygoing guy that could get along with a lot of personality types. So I think he's got a good idea going.
Yeah.
But he's a know-it-all.
It's nice and
oh my God.
That's good though. Hey,
yeah, it's good.
It just increases the certainty for his clients and
like we were doing a deck, and when he cut the board, he'd like check it 10 times over to be like, is that right? Well, maybe right here. And I'm like, oh my God. Make the cut, man. Make the cut. But
I can relate to that. I'm kind of a perfectionist that way, but yeah.
It's a good thing, right? Like I know once you like get your own thing going with it, like dang, you'll be doing cuts in and out like that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And then, you guys can ride to work together. And
we'll probably work separate shifts some days. Because I told him if you got really busy on the other side when you do open, then maybe I could come over and just help you do cut. No women in my shop, man. Get out of my shop.
Ladies,
it's a men's barber shop.
That's
I don't want
awesome.
to listen to your rap anyway.
Yeah. Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
I thought I seen some, when I was going through your Instagram, I thought I seen some stuff with Mad Child.
I do like some kind of stuff. Yeah,
Did you guys go see Mad Child or something?
He went and seen Mad Child.
Oh, okay. And you were just a tag along.
I had to take the picture.
Oh, correct.
And then I was terrible for taking a picture because it was so blurry.
Yeah.
The first time he got his picture with Mad Child and they ruined it.
That's awesome. This is so him though.
It is, yeah. So
anyways, thanks for sitting with me.
Yeah, thanks.
That's all
chatting.
I got for you today. So I'll throw up some links to your Facebook, your website if you want.
Yeah.
Anything else or like any specials in your products, like just let me know. I'll keep in touch with you, and I'm not sure what time this will come out, like by the time I get a chance to actually sit down and edit it, but it'll be soon. So
perfect.
Thanks, Alicia, for sitting down. Everybody support local businesses, especially local stylists and soon barbershops.
Hopefully soon. Yeah.
Okay. Take care.
Thank you. Bye.
That was well put. I put my best foot forward, so I'm next up. I'm about to put my city on the map, homie. I ain't never slack when I'm blood.